Well, we are here again, and this time let's talk about some sales. It appears that Nintendo has done it again. What did Nintendo do? Well, let's talk about how Nintendo is showing the rest of companies that primarily sell software how to do it. This is Island Gaming with Jay, and let's talk about how Nintendo is killing it once again. Let's do it. So, as most of you all know, the two gaming platforms that primarily sell, hard copy games and so forth are Nintendo and PlayStation. When it comes to the Xbox, because most of their first-party games are released on Game Pass, they have to be judged on a different metric. But when it comes to Sony and Nintendo, it's fair game to use those two companies up against each other when it comes to checking, the power of their IP and its selling power. Now, one of the biggest games ever released for the PlayStation 5 is none other than God of War. God of War is, for the most part, a very, very, interesting game. A lot of fans love it. It rated well, it sold well. And a matter of fact, the sales of God of War, when it comes to the first week or the first month, came up to this. So it reads, God of War RAGNAROK made a record-breaking start following its release for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 on November the 9th, 2022. Sony claimed that 5.1 million copies of the game were sold in the debut week, making it the fastest selling first-party title in PlayStation's history. Wow, this is amazing. So 5.1 million copies is nothing to scoff at. This is a lot of copies sold for any game. And any company making a game that could sell that much in just a week, should be proud of themselves. But one thing we have to remember is that this game was released on the PlayStation 4, which has a very large install base. It was released on the PlayStation 5 that, is the hottest things according to the ponies since sliced bread. So there was, a lot of factors that led to this game's success. Let's face it, the power of God of War is strong for PlayStation. The game looks great. It plays great. It was a great game design. So one would think that with all these wins going for God of War, that something that Nintendo have with a very weak console, with not as good graphics as God of War, one would think that there's no way Nintendo could have anything that could even touch the sales of God of War. Well, it appears that Nintendo has done it. Let's see what Nintendo did with their new title, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Let's see how much sales this game made in a matter of 3 days. Nintendo tweeted out that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has sold 10 million copies worldwide in the first 3 days, becoming the fastest selling game in the history of the Legend of Zelda series. This is phenomenal. Nintendo was able to sell 10 million copies, doubling what God of War would have sold in a week. That is amazing. Now, to put that into perspective, God of War took 3 months to sell 11 million. Nintendo did that in 3 days. Now, could somebody tell me why? 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 Why is a game, according to the ponies, that is dropping as low as 30 frames per second, beating God of War, coming and going? Why this game that is being played on a 240p console, whooping God of War, coming and going? Remember, we cannot compare the Xbox software to The Legend of Zelda or God of War, because according to Phil Spencer and the leadership there, they are looking at a different route. They are not looking at how many units are sold. They are looking for enticing persons to come onto Game Pass. So we cannot judge their game sales with Sony and Nintendo, who is going by the old model, which is selling as much software as is sold, right? So why is, with all the good graphics, with all the powerful SSD that the PlayStation 5 has, why this game is destroying the competition? So I don't know why. Maybe you can tell me why. Tell me why Zelda is just performing so well. Good golly. Now, I'll leave it up to you. Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. 10 million in 3 days? Boy, that's some licks. Later.